I'm presently reading Aimee Bender, the author of, it's a fiction that I'm reading, and she's written a few books, and her work has been widely anthologized and has been translated into 10 languages, and she lives in Los Angeles. You must read. She really, really writes well. Well, this is the book, The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake, that I'm reading. And she also is the author of The Girl in the Flammable Skirt. So lemon cake, the particular sadness of a lemon cake. Reading from the inner jacket, the wondrous Aimee Bender conjures a lush and powerful story of a girl whose magical gift is really a devastating curse. On the eve of her 9th birthday, unassuming Rose Adelstein, a girl at the periphery of schoolyard games and her distracted parents' attention, bites into her mother's homemade lemon chocolate cake and discovers she has a magical gift. She can taste her mother's emotions in the slice. She discovers this gift to her horror for her mother. Her cheerful good with crafts can do mother tastes of despair and desperation. Suddenly, for the rest of her life, food becomes a peril and a threat to Rose. Anything can be revealed at any meal. She can't eat her brother Joseph's toast. A cookie at the local bakery is laced with rage. Grape jelly is packed with acidic resentment. Rose's gift forces her to confront the secret knowledge all families keep hidden, truths about her mother's life outside the home, her father's strange detachment, Joseph's clash with the world. Yet, as Rose grows up, she realizes there are some secrets that even her taste buds cannot discern. The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake is a luminous tale about the heartbreak of loving those whom you know too much about. It is profound and funny, wise and sad, and it confirms Aimee Bender's place as a writer whose dazzling prose illuminates the strangeness of everyday life. Must read it. Well, that's the ISBN for you. And in the praise of the book, it's written, haunting Bender's prose delivers electric shocks, rendering the world in fresh, unexpected jolts. Moving, fanciful, and gorgeously strange, says People. Boston Globe writes, inventive, convincing, and elegant. The voice here is masterful. The prose mesmerizing, one of her finest prose stylists. She has constructed a novel with a deeply involving plot, one full of provocative ideas about how people learn to accept and adapt to their special aptitudes and sensitivities. And then by The Atlantic, it says, charming and wistful, Blender harnesses her exquisite, bizarre sensitivity in this haunting examination. And Washington Post says, odd and oddly beautiful, moving. And then Wall Street Journal says, the fairy tale elements in her writing, far from seeming outlandish, highlight the everyday nature of her characters' flaws and struggles. In Miss Bender's stories and novels, relationships and mundane activities take on mythic qualities. Time Out New York says, in praise of the book, that extraordinary, a complicated novel with significant emotional heft. The delicacy with which Bender captures Rose's tastes makes this not just a deeply felt novel, but one of the most inventive pieces of food writing in recent memory. Actually, I agree. Los Angeles Times writes, Bender is the master of quiet hysteria. She builds a pressure sentence by sentence. And the New York Observer writes, dreamy, playful prose, one of the most pleasant books we've read all year. Well, that's the page on which it's written, The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake, a novel by Aimee Bender, and the publishers. That's copyright, etc. And it begins with the physiology of taste by brilliant. It's written, food is all those substances which, submitted to the action of the stomach, can be assimilated or changed into life by digestion and can thus repair the losses which the human body suffers through the act of living. Makes sense, right? So she jumps into the story. Just look at this. It happened for the first time on a Tuesday afternoon, a warm spring day in the flatlands near Hollywood. A light breeze moving east from the ocean and stirring the black-eyed pansy petals newly planted in our flower boxes. My mother was home baking me a cake when I tipped up the walkway. She opened the front door before I could knock. How about a practice round? She said, leaning past the door frame. She pulled me in for a hello hug, pressing me close to my favorite of her aprons and worn cotton one trimmed in sketches of twined red cherries. On the kitchen counter, she had set out the ingredients: flour bag, sugar box, 2 brown eggs nestled in grooves between tiles, a yellow block of butter blurring at the edges, a shallow glass bowl of lemon peel. I toured the row. This was a week of my 9th birthday, and it had been a long day at school of cursive lessons which I hated, and playground yelling about point scoring, and the sunlit kitchen, and my warm-eyed mother were welcome arms open. I dipped a finger into the wax baggie of brown sugar crystals, murmured, yes, please, yes. And you must read to see what happens next. It's a real wonderfully penned fiction. A lot of psychological element out there. Enjoy.